Hello, and welcome to the Sunshine Study. I'm Dr. Rebecca, the Lifejoy coach and author, and it is joyous to be with you. So, if you're new here, you are very welcome. If you're familiar, it's still joyous to have you. Thank you for your love, support. Please like, comment, and share. It helps so much. So, today I thought we'd talk about one of the fundamental points of Lifejoy, my Lifejoy theory, which stands for love, integrity, fortitude, energy, joy, order, and you. So, there's a lot to talk about there. But I wanted to talk about the 4 F's in Lifejoy. Now, there's actually 5, but we'll start with the 4. Now, the first one is fortitude, how to be resilient in an ongoing state, but also how to keep going, how to be courageous when life is challenging, and also how to be full of appreciation when it's lovely. There is a great wealth in normal days and ordinary, boring hours. Love them, appreciate them, celebrate them. So, what are the other F's in Lifejoy? Well, I talk to clients all the time and I listen all the time to the moments when they have felt attacked or shocked and they have needed their fortitude. And usually there's 4 responses that come. And this list seems to be growing as time goes on, which is always wonderful because the more we learn, the more we think, the more power we have. So I think about the 4 F's as flight, fright, freeze, fawn, or fight. Is that 5 or is that 4? Anyway, if you think about those responses, is which one describes you most? Now, it's taken me years to work this out. I knew which ones weren't me, but I can see it so clearly in my clients that when they realize they've had a very natural response to something, they're not alone. They've not got it wrong. They've just had a response, a reaction that's been trained into them, often through childhood or patterns of behavior and belief. So let's look at those quietly, but logically and calmly to reassure you. Now, I know that I don't respond to shock or aggression with fight. I don't hit back because I'm usually so stunned by it that I don't know what to do. And lots of my clients are like that. Lots of people can manage to attack back, and attack is a word back, without even thinking about it, like a boxer jabbing. But they are not my clients. My clients are very good, kind-hearted people who are just stunned and often highly sensitive and big givers in this world. So there's that first response. So I know that that is not my people. If it is you, think about where that came from, because that's come from somewhere. It's come from a validation, a reaction, an encouragement, and think about where you saw it first and did it first, and what were the results from that. So think about that in the context. Now, the second one is flight, where we run away. And lots of us worry that we haven't done enough, we haven't responded. I wish I'd said that. Oh my goodness, I just stood there and took it. If I've got £1 for every time I've said that or heard a client say it, I would be a gazillionaire. But it's really all right to just be so stunned by something, you shut down. And that's what I call the freeze. Now, I've done a lot of freezing in certain moments where I've been so shocked by something, it's like I'm like frozen. And I think that is perfectly reasonable because you don't see trouble coming. Now, you may see it coming and therefore you may need to take some precautionary measures. But I often reassure clients that their response is perfectly legitimate and it's what mine would be too. They're not on their own. No wonder they were shocked. It was not good. It was nasty. It was terrible. It was heartbreaking. It was shocking. It was childish. It was naughty. It was aggressive. It was selfish. All those difficult things that we have to deal with in life. So look at how you respond to things and then be a bit pleased with yourself if you're not attacking. There's something to be proud of there. And then there's something that's come up quite recently about the freezing. I think that's just the defense mechanism that your physical body is just saying, hang on. Oh, take a breath. But then there's another thing that's come up in recent years that I've read a lot about and I've seen, and I've probably done quite a lot, is the fawn response. That you try and make peace. You try and downplay what's just happened. You try and smooth things over. You try and keep everybody happy. You try and put it right. Now, actually, that is very admirable. So don't berate yourself because you've tried to be a peacemaker. Peacemakers are what we need in this world. but we also need peacekeepers. That's a different thing, because making the peace is fine when there's been apologies, acceptance, and those things won't happen again. Because I think sorry doesn't mean I'm sorry you were upset. I think it should mean I'm sorry I did it, I shouldn't have done it, I will not do it again. How can I make amends? Sorry for me is a bigger deal than just sorry. So think about where you perhaps have done some fawning. Now, I would not say this was a bad thing initially, because if you've had somebody who's very frightened, very panicky, in a terrible state, and you've calmed it down, now they might need a telling off, but what you did was you calmed it down. You de-escalated it to try and make it a bit better. And that's good. That's what a mature, wise person does. They don't get dragged into a slanging match or attacking back. They think, what's going on here? How can I help? And can we just settle things a bit? Can we soothe things down? Then fewer people will suffer. I've seen lots of people bite somebody's head off in front of other people, and then somebody try to minimize the damage so they don't do it to somebody else within that vicinity, but they don't humiliate the person. They deal with it quietly to one side, or they deal with it with humor or lightheartedness or self-deprecation, but they know they're doing that. They don't fawn just to people please. They manage and contain a situation. So of these responses, and we could do 100 videos on each, but think about where you started, how you reacted. Did it fit? Was it wise? Are you proud of yourself? What would you do next time that would help more, that would protect your own boundaries and that of other people's? How have you learned from this? Where is the blessing in this? That's a really mature question. But also to not judge yourself, just reflect upon it and then see what's going on and what you can do better next time. If you're prepared, it's very much less likely to happen. But if you are prepared, it means that you go in less naively. And one of the things about maturing in body, mind, heart, and soul is that we become more mature and we are not susceptible anymore. And then we can make better choices. And sometimes we might need a little bit of fight back. We might need to freeze for a minute and think. We might need to get out of that situation, so our flight responses are very protectory. Or we might need to just calm things down a bit and just stop it from getting worse for the greater good. Now, if you're doing any of those to pacify horrible behavior, it's a very different thing. But look at it with a wise perspective that is non-judgmental, that you can learn from it, grow from it, give more, be more, but also know that there will be a growth in you because of that situation. And it's perfectly acceptable and perfectly wise to distance yourself from something that is not healthy, repeatedly toxic, repeatedly aggressive. It's only a sane thing to do. But remember, I've just kicked the bin under the video, under the desk. I'm keeping it very still, trying not to fidget. But remember, you see, I just had a little shot of adrenaline there. And adrenaline and cortisone are there to protect us, but we need to manage them and flush them down and calm it down. So if something's happened where you've had to have one of those responses, remember you have some action to take after it to process it. So think about it dispassionately. If you can, go for some fresh air, a stroll, a shower, talk to your best friend, your mum, your auntie, your sister, your brother, your husband, your cousin, your best pal at work, and think about what's happened. And if you need to talk to somebody professionally, then I'm always here. First contact and first session is always free, and you can see if you like me, and I can see if I can help you with one-to-one Lifejoy coaching and counselling. So thank you for staying, my friends. Take care. God bless. Be safe. And I hope this has helped you view your own responses with calmness, compassion, and care. Take care, my friends. Please like and subscribe and watch another video. Have more Lifejoy every day. Take care. God bless. Be safe.